say, like, this is the best day of your life. On the count of three, we're going to pretend I just said a joke. And we all laugh in the chat because that's how the speaker will know you're enjoying this, given that you're on mute. So 1, 2, 3, go! Yo! Everybody in the chat, go nuts! Ah. Okay, we're all killing it. That's how it's gonna be. That's how we're gonna laugh. That's how we're gonna enjoy. My friends, our first speaker of the night, our opener of the night, is one of my favorite students. I actually got to share in her previous workshop as her facilitator. She's currently in Colombia. Fun fact, in fact, my favorite fact about her is that throughout her entire career, people have always thought that she does something completely different than she actually does, even if they work with her. My friends, please help me welcome from Bogotá, Colombia, Pau Pinzón Gomez.
Hello, everybody. Well, my name is Paola, and one thing that's very unique about me is that I was born with a birthmark on one of my legs. Well, this birthmark, it's like Kirby, pink and huge, and if you touch it, it disappears. It's not a secret that it has been such a challenge to overcome the insecurities that it brings. I remember that at some opportunity, a guy I was dating asked if my children were going to have it. Can you imagine that? I replied like, well, I don't know if my children will, but I'm just sure that yours won't. And that day, I learned that sometimes being a bitch can be very useful. So I hate how much I criticize myself and my body. And even though I read all the books and listen to all the podcasts and watch all the self-love TikToks, I still can't treat myself respectfully. It's unavoidable and almost irresistible to look in the mirror and criticize everything I see on my body. And you know, I always feel like I haven't achieved the body I want, nor the discipline it requires. And it makes me think, well, my body would be completely different if I had started dieting and exercising like I said I would 20 years ago. So even though I tried the keto diet, the Weight Watchers diet, and the every time you're hungry, have sex diet, nothing works. And whether the scales mark 70 or 40 kilograms, I always feel the same, like a few kilos away from the perfect life. Add that to the fact that I'm married to a lovely man who loves, fit, healthy women who spend 60 hours a day in the gym, get 3 facials every hour, and were born with a fucking six-pack. So, as a marketing expert, I know for a fact which communication and persuasion strategies companies use to make you buy things that you don't need or even don't work. And it hasn't really prevented me from falling into their business trap, hoping that the magic solution for all my problems, which seemed to be reduced to the idea that I could always be thinner, this time does work. And I honestly think that most women, like most skinny women, must suffer from eating disorders, because in my deepest and darkest moments, I think that I haven't even been able to commit myself to throwing up. So I decided, and I stopped watching Instagram, and I became a huge fan of TikTok, because honestly, I prefer 1,000 times to see a lot of strangers making a fool of themselves, tidying their houses, and saving TikTok's ideas to my phone that I'm never going to do, than to watch my skinny athletic friends who are even hotter after having their third baby. So diets, books, podcasts, psychologists, and even my husband haven't been enough to keep me far from the replacing food with cigarettes diet. And when I tried the every time you're hungry, have sex diet, I feel so frustrated about wanting to have sex, but also expecting my husband to guess. Because if I tell him, well, it's not the same. And it's not a secret that over time, sex in stable relationships can be challenging. And I really think that it's just a sign that your relationship has growth. Personally, one of the most complex challenges has been taking the initiative because I basically hate to seek and I love to be found. And I would love for that to happen in a certain way. So the only thing I'm asking is like the perfect time, like not so early so I can finish my things, not so late that compromise my early waking up for the next day, like the perfect sensual touch, not so hard, not so soft, the perfect atmosphere, like the organized room, the music, the lights, the perfect words. Sometimes it's like a dirty talk, sometimes just a romantic one. Well, I just don't understand why it's so complex for any man to find a way to ask for sex. And maybe I think it's just my way to justify that I'm lazy as fuck. But you know what really makes me feel bad about being lazy? All these freaking Instagram models. I feel threatened by all these younger, fitter, and more confident women because dealing with this unrealistic expectation of what the perfect body should be is mentally and emotionally exhausting, especially when I have like a million of additional things that I want to be, like an outstanding professional, a loving wife, and of course, be perceived as a Victoria's Secret model that appears in everybody's wet dreams. I also hate them because I know that when you are constantly receiving positive feedback, you start like gaining some confidence and oh my God, all my problems with my self-esteem, with my sex life, and even with my career would be solved if only I had the confidence of a 19 years old girl who promotes herself as a life coach. Thank you very much.
Round of applause. Round of applause for Bao. Wow, this was incredible. The crowd is going nuts. The crowd is going nuts. There were so many emojis. I'm going to put Soy Yo Mi Amor on the spotlight here. And just go like this. Go like this if everything Pao said is true. And go like this if it's false. Is it true or false? True. Round of applause for Soy Yo Mi Amor, also known as Pao's husband, supporting Pao everywhere she goes, and also taking this course without paying because Soy Yo Mi Amor was always behind Pao when Pao was in the course. He was in the class, but without being in the class. So we want to thank you for being there with us and supporting us throughout these 7 weeks. Amazing. Round of applause for Pao again, my friends. Killing it. Being vulnerable, as you can tell. None of these are jokes that you can find on the internet. This is real. This is authentic. This is rawness in a nutshell. And when you talk about being there and being authentic, our next speaker, my friends, is as authentic as it gets because our next speaker is actually at the airport in Chicago. And that's when, there's commitment. Look at someone at the airport. That's commitment right there. That's like, I've been together with this group for 6 weeks and I'm not going to back down even if my plane leaves in an hour and a half. So, my friends, please help me welcome one of our happiest, funniest, wisest people in the group, the unbreakable, the unmistakable Sonia Gonzalez.
Oh, Coach. Thank you so much, Stefan. And I hope people here in O'Hare don't think I'm crazy, but I'm just going to give it a try. My name is Sonia Gonzalez, and my husband tells me that I look like Penelope Cruz. but I think I look more like Sofia Vergara because, he's my sugar daddy. Now, I hate plain vanilla sex. Let's talk about numbers. The missionary, for example, burns only 40 calories. The doggy style burns 80 calories. But the cowgirl, you know what I'm talking about, 300 calories. That's like 30 minutes of a Zumba class right there. My husband and I, we need to think about out of the box and figure ways to drop some weight. After 14 years of marriage, creativity and innovation is just hard to cultivate. And we have tried to spice it up. And, things get a little bit weird sometimes. Sometimes we're like, hey, do you want to get the toys and experience something new? And then 20 seconds later, we're unwrapping with instructions, looking for batteries. And then after 20 minutes, I go, hey, do you want to go for a quick missionary? He always replies, fucking yes. I'll take 40 calories anytime. I already think we have burned almost like 1,000 calories figuring out the freaking toys. Think about it. Going to the gym takes 20 minutes. And then if you're lucky, after maybe 30 minutes of jogging in the treadmill, you only burn 120 calories. The missionary, you burn 40 calories in 8 minutes. I'll take it anytime. It's good for you and it's good for your diet. Talking about sex with my husband, 8 years ago, it was hard when he was hard. Back then, I also wanted to be found. I also wanted the sex to be spontaneous. But, I have learned that you gotta be a bitch. Gotta ask for what you want. Get on my knees and taste me. There is no spontaneous sex. How? You gotta schedule it. You gotta plan it. It's gotta be structured. And it's gotta be dirty. But it pays off. If I was in a project magazine, portrait, probably the caption would read like, I have dropped 4 kilos in 4 weeks. But if I was in a Playboy magazine, the caption would read, missionary accomplished. Talking about sex, it's something it's been happening to me is that lately I've been thinking about my exes. I've been dreaming about them, and it's weird, and especially after you've been sleeping with the same man for 14 years. Maybe those dreams are just encrypted messages that I haven't been able to decipher yet. And maybe my subconscious mind is trying to tell me something. Sometimes I woke up at 3 a.m. in the morning and I hear a whisper, go and burn 300 calories. And then I go, with whom? With my husband or my exes? It's hard to break up with friends. I used to be, very comfortable breaking up with boyfriends, but friends is a whole new level. Because a breakup with a boyfriend is just like, it's not you, it's me. That's it. But with friends, it's like, oh, it's not you. It's your family. It's your husband. It's your house. You're always bitching about something. It just got so complicated. Thank you all.
Round of applause for Sonia.
Woo!
Making the entire Chicago O'Hare Airport horny.
And my husband is here, is Leo.
Oh, Leo.
Bravo, Sonia, bravo.
Bravo. Leo, can you hear us? Can you please unmute? Can you say hi? Or maybe Leo. Oh, there he is. How are you,
Yes,
Leo?
of course. Hello. Yes. Is that my wife?
You are the star of the show, Leo. Can you
I
please
know.
confirm or deny everything that has been said? Is it true?
I'm blushing. Yes, it's true. Completely.
14 years of innovating.
Exactly. And 20 pounds lighter than a year ago.
No wonder you both get hotter by the year, by the second. Round of applause for Sonia and Leo. Leo, I keep seeing your picture here on Zoom, which is you and your son at a game, at a sports game. And for some reason, this whole time I'm scared. I was worried that I know that it's just a picture, but I'm like, are Sonia's kids also listening to this?
No, and you know what? I asked Leo, please put the kids away. This is only for you. Leo, is that okay? You're not with him, Antonio, right?
Leo,
No. They're not listening. We're good.
Leo's been locked up in the bathroom for the last 8 minutes. And then they're about to go. Sonia's about to go into the bathroom too, and in the airport, and they're about to have phone sex. This has been incredible. Round of applause again for Sonia and Leo, killing the show. Missionary accomplished. Yes. Incredible. Sonia, we know that you may have to leave any moment, because this is true, she's at the airport and boarding happens in exactly 14 minutes, according to what Sonia just said before we started. So if you have to leave, we understand. And if you can stay for a few more minutes to enjoy the other sets, we would love that too. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Stefan.
My friends, this show has been incredible so far. We still have 4 speakers to go. Our next speaker is out in Calgary, Canada. I met this speaker at level 1. I actually met her through another speaking event, and we shared level 1. We laughed so hard, and this person has been one of the ones that has made me laugh the most because of just the honesty of being and experiencing new things in this recent new journey, new stage of her life in Calgary. So please help me welcome the only, the unbreakable, the unmistakable, the highly capable Courtney Badra.
Woo!
Thank you, everyone. I am so glad to be back on the MalPensando stage. Excuse me, I'm still practicing my Spanish, but everyone in the rest of the group has been very helpful in helping me practice not only stand-up comedy, but Spanish on a weekly basis.
Yes, the Latino ESL crew.
So my name is Courtney, and people tell me that I look like a hot girl's friend. So someone who could be friends with a hot girl. And that really bugs me because it's true. I've never been the hot girl in my friends group. I've been the smart one. I've been the funny one. I've been the responsible one. And I was made for those roles. It goes all the way back to when I was 12 years old, and my dad told me that my sister got the looks and I got the brains. And that isn't that the perfect thing to say to your preteen daughter? I'm sure that he didn't say it thinking that I would remember it for the rest of my life. But I was smart enough to get married when I was 20 years old at the peak of my hotness. And I have been successfully married for 13 years.
Nice.
But I recently sent my husband away to live overseas for 6 months to visit his family. And that's really hard to say goodbye to your husband. We haven't spent a lot of time apart for our whole marriage, but especially not in the last 3 years. We both started working from home during the pandemic. And so we woke up together, we ate together, we went to sleep together. And on the weekends, you guessed it, we hung out together. And I really, honestly, I really cherished this quality time with my husband for about 2.5 years. But in the last 6 months, he's really been getting on my nerves. So, and I was worried. We were fighting all the time. And I was like, I have to find a solution to this. So I was thinking about, how to solve it. And I remembered a saying: distance makes the heart grow fonder. So I went to him one night and I said, sweetie, how about you go 6,000 kilometers away from me for a while? And it's been the best thing for our marriage. But it has been a bit of an adjustment to get used to, being on my own. One of the things that I've noticed is preparing meals. I was trying to cook dinner last night and I was in the kitchen looking in the fridge and nothing seemed appetizing. And before, when my husband was home, I would put so much care and thought and consideration into our meals. I would be like, honey, what do you want to eat tonight? Are you feeling like, maybe a seafood pasta with Caesar salad and maybe homemade garlic bread? Or maybe I should do something lighter, like I could make sushi. But when I'm on my own, I'm like, I think I'm going to have a peanut butter sandwich again for the 4th time this week. Another thing that I had to do when my husband moved away is I had to find a roommate. And this has been the weirdest experience. By a show of hands, who's lived with a roommate before? Hey, so this was a completely new experience for me because I went from living with my parents to moving and living with my husband. And so, I kind of went out into the world a little bit naive about what this experience was going to be like. I got onto Kijiji and I searched places to stay, and I sent messages to people who had rooms available. And they would schedule a time for me to come see their place. And when I got there, this would be a combination of a job interview and a date. They would come in with these hard-hitting questions like, where do you work? How much money do you make? What do you do? Do you have any references? And then the tone would shift and they'd be like, what do you do for fun? We should go for drinks sometime. I'm sorry, I've just met you. But that's the way it is with a roommate. It's like a relationship that's moving way too quickly. Like after this one conversation, you have to decide if you want to live with them. You're like, imagine this. Like, you know, in any other situation, you go to someone, you're like, this conversation has been amazing. I think we should just do it. We should take the leap. We should move in together. Let's sign a lease. Let's get financially involved with each other's lives. So my current roommate is a 35-year-old single woman who works from home. So it's like living with my husband, except there's no more sex. Oh my gosh. You know, we can relate on not having kids. Me and my husband are still trying to figure out if we want to have kids. And, you know, being that we're in our 30s, we have a lot of pressure from friends and family to have kids. And when we were younger, we could always kind of say later. But now, like, now that we're 30, later is now. And we've already done all the things that you're supposed to do before you have kids. You know, go to school and graduate. We got a good job. We bought a house. We traveled the world. We bought a boat. Like, we've run out of reasons not to have kids. But I still haven't decided if I want to have kids. So I went and got an IUD. But did you know that an IUD is only 99% effective at preventing pregnancy?
Wow.
Do you know what is 100% of preventing pregnancy?
Wow.
Sending your husband to live overseas.
Round of applause. Round of applause for Courtney. Courtney, this is being recorded. We can send it to your husband. Or is he here?
No, he's not here, but my sister is here. iPhone.
Oh, yeah?
One of the
iPhone.
One of
The iPhone in Colombia or the iPhone in Toronto? Where is your sister?
in Fort McMurray.
Oh, yeah. I did notice that in the chat.
Yeah.
iPhone from Fort McMurray. What did you think of this set? Samantha, can you reveal yourself? Can you unmute yourself?
There she is.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Is this the best day of your life?
Yes. Actually, I joined the first round. I think it was during the pandemic.
Yes, it was.
For the
Yes, it
comedy
was.
is especially fun. Yeah.
Well, we're so happy that you're here. We're so happy that you enjoyed this. And there's a rumor out there. I don't know if this is true or not, but there's a rumor that you want to join Level 1 Public Speaking through Comedy Workshop coming soon
Level
to
1?
your home online. All the
Cool.
way to Fort McMurray. I don't see you very convinced. I'm going to try that again in 30 minutes. Well, thank you very much for being here, iPhone from Fort McMurray, Samantha. And please stay for the rest of the show because you're going to continue to enjoy this. Thank you for being here. And another round of applause for Courtney, who just killed this. One of my favorite all-time observations by Courtney and self-awareness this course was her saying that we were discussing things that we don't necessarily like about each other, maybe our personalities or physical wise or things that we do. And one of the funniest things that I heard Courtney say is like when she comes to like a room or at work, she feels like, okay, guys, the boss has arrived. It's okay. You guys were doing a good job, but I'm here now. So let's everybody look at me because I'm probably going to make the best decision here. I love the fact that Courtney makes every speaker feel better because this is Courtney when everybody else is speaking.
Especially her sister.
Yes, oh, her sister too. I love it. Well, my friends, let's let the show continue. Our next speaker was very kind before this show because she volunteered to trade places with Sonia so that Sonia could actually perform first or right after Bao so that she could perform second and make it to her flight on time. This speaker is currently in Portland, Oregon. She is our purpose queen and we love her deeply. My friends, please help me welcome your very own Angela Cadena.
Thank you, Stefan. My name is Angela, and people tell me I look like the Oracle from the movie The Matrix. That really bugs me because you know what? It is true. Another thing that is true about me is that I love dancing. I absolutely love dancing, and I am a handful in the dance floor, as my husband in the other. The other night, a friend invited me to see him playing at this local venue. I said, yeah, I'm gonna go dancing. Then I arrived there, and the music was like, la, 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 this Brazilian jazz, and I was like, what's going on? I'm here waiting all this time, there's no dancing music. And then all of a sudden, se necesita una boca. I got the first one on the dance floor. I threw off my jacket. I said, this is me. I'm ready to dance. And guess what? When I'm dancing, I get possessed. I lose all my inhibitions. I feel like I am on the top of the world. That's right. That dancing takes a serious effect on me. But as I said before, let's ask my husband if he wants to see this show when I go dancing. I love dancing, but I don't love certain things. I don't love going to do sports with my husband. My husband, let me ask you first, all of you, raise your hand if your partner, husband, or sister loves to be competitive in sports. I see one hand there. I see multiple hands. My husband is an avid cyclist. He's also very committed to skiing. Excuse me, I'll put my skis here in case they drop. And he is so competitive that he counts how many vertical feet he does every season. So the other year, he told me, hey, Chiquita, he calls me Chiquita, by the way. Hey, Chiquita, I have something amazing to tell you. It wasn't even the end of the season. We were like, maybe it was mid-February. And he said, I completed my 1,000,000 vertical feet of skiing, downhill skiing this season already. I was like, okay. So this competitive approach makes him always in a rush to arrive first with his skis at the ski hill, go really running to the chairlift, the number one person that has to arrive first, no waiting for him, etc. He's so fast that if there was a movie about him, the trailer will go like this. Steven, the fastest guy, the fastest downhill skier, fastest everything except very slow when it comes to the cleaning, organizing the house, etc. You get the point. He's a great guy. Don't take me wrong. He's an amazing person, but he's not very patient when it comes to beginners. A while back, when we used to live in Toronto, now we are in Portland, Oregon, he and I invited a friend of mine to go rollerblading. And I said, please, Steve, take care of my friend. Don't rush into this. And he went with her. And guess what? Few hours later, she ended up in the ER. Exactly. And then we had a friend, a neighbor. He is from Sweden. You know, people from Sweden knows a little bit about skiing. Well, he took this guy downhill skiing. Few hours later, guess what? The guy ended up with a broken nose in the ER. Right. Also, my husband is very generous. He took me skiing to this beautiful place called Sound Valley. And when I got there, I was so excited until I saw those hills. And I said, no, I'm not ready for this, Steve. This is too difficult. And it's above my level. And he said, no, Chiquita, you do just fine. Just do it. And I did. And I did broke my knee. And I ended up in the ER. It's the reason why I don't want to do more sports with my husband, because I don't want to have my marriage end up in the ER too. Thank you guys. It was a pleasure.
Round of applause. Round of applause for Angela. Oh my God. We have the star of the show right now. Stephen, can you unmute yourself? Can you confirm more than I what has been said in this speech?
I'll start by saying everything I say is a lie. So, yeah, it's kind of true.
Oh my God. So you must have a lot of friends in the ER by now. A lot of, they just, oh, that's Steve again today. That's just his weekly visit with a friend.
Doctor, nurse.
Hospitals, but that's why I don't eat hot sauce anymore. People also.
How many times have you been to the ER with a friend on a sports-related injury?
Angela got most of them. Maybe one.
Anywhere between 3 and 30, we'll say. Round of applause for Angela and Stephen, also the star of the show. And I also want to acknowledge Steve because he was here to support last time too. But the real hand, the real acknowledgement. Another round of applause for Angela Cadena again.
Yay.
Thank you. I love the acting. I love the commitment, the dancing, the dress.
I dressed up. I even wore my dancing outfit. So you guys come to Oregon and I show you the way.
Angela,
anyone want to go skiing?
Well, both can be dangerous. Dancing with a Latino can be equally as dangerous as skiing with a Canadian. You never know. Thank you so much, Angela. And now, let's continue the show. My friends, our next speaker is from Colombia, but lives in Montreal, Canada. We've been utterly satisfied, just so pleased with all her interventions, with all her insights, with her kindness throughout these last 6 weeks. She had to travel to Colombia throughout the middle of the course and to see some family, but would always connect, always do the homework. So I'm super happy that she's here with us. My friends, please help me welcome the unbreakable, the unmistakable, the highly capable Sammy Ramirez.
Thank you, Stefan. Thank you, Stefan. I've been told that my voice sounds like a psychologist, that I kind of look like a psychologist, that I kind of behave like a psychologist. But the truth is that I'm looking for one because I'm a psychopath. One thing about me is that I hate sleeping with strangers, especially during overnight flights. not knowing where to put my arms, and suddenly my legs are too long to fit, and I wish I could just cross them over my neighbor to be comfortable. I can actually sleep. I wonder if he's a gringo. Will he bother if I use his shoulder as a pillow? Oh my God, something at lunch was too heavy. Should I wake him up to go to the bathroom? Will this fart be too smelly? What if it's noisy? Oh my God, it smells awful. I really hope he can't smell it. How many hours do we have left? This man is deep asleep. Is he dead? I'll try to sleep again. But how long did I sleep? Only 5 minutes. I thought we were already landing. I don't want to talk first. I think he just wants to sleep. Next thing we know, we just landed. Oh my God, is he talking to me? Where am I from? From Colombia. Ay, chama, me lo hubieras dicho antes. Si supiera que hablabas español, estaba muy incómodo. Hubiéramos podido dormir más cómodos. For those of you who don't understand Spanish, that is my Venezuelan accent. It's not really good, but if you don't understand Venezuelan, don't worry, me neither. That's the thing with miscommunication, and it happens even with my husband. So I often argue with my husband, and it's usually about the same things. He criticizes our country, Colombia, all the time. And it's like so frequent that I should already understand it, but I always experience it like if it was the first time. And sometimes he has a point, but I am too proud to let it pass. The other day, he started saying something like, the worst thing about Colombia is the people. They are corrupt, they are opportunistic, they're disorganized, they're classist, they are drug dealers. And I go like, but we're happy people. We're kind, we are optimistic, we are generous. This man is Colombian. I shouldn't have to explain. We are supposed to say only things, good things about our country. Didn't he get the memo? And then he's like, with inequality is huge, and transport is awful, and corruption, and education, and health system. And I'm like, but the landscapes, the mountains, the two oceans, the women with big mountains. The OnlyFans stars. Why is he so obsessed with the negative? And it's the same with me. I never hear him saying anything about how great my cooking is, how great my cooking is, or how I have this infinite patience on my ability to forgive his nonsense. He talks about me being angry all the time, being overly sensitive, me being a psychopath. But I have a reason to be like that. Let me tell you about my mom. Sometimes I'm truly embarrassed about my mom's comments in public. She is very sweet, my mom. She is 1 meter and 55 centimeters. Every person, when they meet her, they say, oh, your mom is so sweet. And I know it, right? She's like a cute Smurf with a strong character. And there are times she literally has no filter whatsoever, like the time my cousin got divorced. And she said in front of everybody, I never liked her anyway. She's not even pretty. And I'm like, shh, mom, he's a he, not a she. My mom manipulates me psychologically from the distance without saying a word. And she is very powerful, like a Jedi. I would do anything for my mom, buy a house, go on a trip, not have sex, have babies, rob a bank, hide a dead body. Okay, I'm joking. Having a baby is the only one thing I haven't done for her, but it's cost me months of therapy to alleviate the guilt. Anyway, she manipulates me so well that for years I thought I was an independent, strong, and like very determined woman. Until one day I noticed I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't eat meat. I realized I was this close from becoming a nun. And, and that's how I became a psychopath.
Round of applause.
So good.
Of applause for Sami. Sami, you made us laugh so much. Please tell me your husband is here.
No, he's not. He's not. But I have a friend and my niece.
Okay, we recorded this so we can send it to him, and then you can tell us if he confirms or denies the allegations. Yeah, Courtney's saying in the chat, these jokes never get old. So funny. We heard these jokes when we practiced, and we're still laughing, even more than in the practice round. Another round of applause for Sami.
Thank you.
Oh, you have your fan club here.
Yeah, I have a fan club. I paid them actually, but anyway, that's not important.
You paid Sofia and you paid Checho. Are they in Colombia or are they in Montreal?
Sofia is in Montreal and Checho is in Florida.
Wow, international fan club. I love it. So,
get in there, building my club.
Sofia and Checho, did you like it? ¿Les gustó? Amazing. Keep your hand up if you're going to keep your hand up if you have a credit card. And keep your hand up if you're going to join this class in about 60 minutes. Level 1. I'm trying to recruit. All right, my friends. Another round of applause for Sami. Bravo!
Thank you.
Feeling it. Checho even stopped the car to really listen to this. Checho, are you in a car? ¿Estás en el carro? Or you're driving, somebody else is driving? Or I can't even see well. Are you? Let's see.
Yeah,
Yeah. I was driving. I stopped to hear.
Okay, I love it. Oh, very deep voice too. Yeah. Is it Checho or Bad Bunny? I don't know. Okay, let's continue this life-changing show as we sadly come towards the end. We have one more speaker. The following speaker, she is from Mexico. She's also one of the smartest people I know. And the funny thing is that I actually met Sami in another course that a company bought for us. It is Workman Arts, and it's an incredible organization. They actually do a lot of work supporting people with addictions and mental health challenges, and bought our workshop so that they could anybody could do it. Now, people who joined the workshop didn't have to have mental health challenges or substance abuse challenges, and that's where we met our next student, and she went on to use all these techniques to now be very successful at not only her job, but also in teaching. She has very cool stories, very funny stories. Please help me welcome the lovely, the unbreakable, the unmistakable from Mexico, Marcela Soto.
Thank you, Stefan. And thank you for the clarification. Well, maybe I do have some mental issues, but who knows? Hello, everyone. As mentioned, my name is Marcela, and yes, I'm Mexican. Is everyone having a good night? So far?
Yes.
Make some noise.
Woo!
Yeah. Well, I do have a couple of questions for you. Would you believe me if I tell you that I'm a woman in engineering?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
of course.
What if I tell you that I'm a teacher?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
How about a rocket scientist?
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Oh, wow. I don't know.
I know. Well, the answer is yes to all of the above. As a matter of fact,
Wow.
I'm a mother of 5.
Oof.
Ooh.
Well, no. That one I lie. Ain't nobody you got time for that, right? But let me tell you a little bit more about me. Back in 2009, I was fresh out of the boat, settling here in Toronto, not being able to speak a word of English. Can you imagine a Latin woman not being able to speak and communicate? That was so frustrating. Almost like Sonia not being able to burn 300 calories. Or like Kearney not being able to send her husband away. Well, by show of hands, has anyone traveled abroad to learn English or any other language? Perfect. So
Yeah.
you might relate-ish. Back then, back in 2009, I was very committed to learning English. So I asked my parents if they could sign me up in an ESL school. Whoa. That was my first mistake. I realized that the English school, everyone else had also very broken English, just like me. So shortly after that realization, I decided to drop out of school. And I decided also to take my tuition fee and spend it on field trips and learning experiences, I had to torture myself going on to bars and nightclubs just to be able to talk to native speakers. Yep, that's exactly where I met my first Canadian boyfriend. Let's call him Mr. Smith. I remember the first time he invited me to one of his work events, a fancy government dinner. Yeah, well, while I was ordering dinner, I asked for a salmon. That's exactly what I noticed. Him looking at me back with a face of perplexity. Honey, there's no L in salmon, it's just salmon. For which I reply, oh, now I get it. It's like the silent L in, could you please don't talk to me like that? Or I will never have sex with you again. So in the same party, I was introducing myself to people. Hello, my name is Marcela, I'm Mexican. Just a heads up, I have an accent. I'm also an aerospace engineer, which people usually replies, oh, so you can explain us how planes fly? Sure. Have you ever watched a plane taking off? It's just physics. 4 basic forces: lift, weight, drag, only to be interrupted by the boyfriend. Planes fly because they move air up and down. The rest is just magic. That's the reason I discovered the word mansplaining. I should have known better after the first time I heard Mr. Smith explaining me how to use the dishwasher when he usually relies on his mom for clean dishes. Guys, honestly, if it's not clear if you are mansplaining, first ask yourself, was the explanation solicited? Did someone ask me to explain it? Was my explanation condescending? Or you just always have to have the last word? Am I now mansplaining? Well, perhaps it's time to turn the roles around. How about if we start womansplaining? Maybe we can womansplain how to catch the clear hints to initiate sex, right, Pau?
Right.
We can womansplain how to put the wet towel back in the right place, or not leaving it just on the floor. Or how about if we womansplain how to project manage a home, the trips, the holidays, life, while making calculations for a rocket landing? I'm just dropping this thought out here for all the intelligent and capable women. Happy Women's Day.
Bravo! Round of applause for Madison.
Yay!
Madison, I loved it, especially the silent L in I'm never having sex with you again. My friends, we've come sadly to the end of this beautiful, incredible show by 6 outstanding powerhouse women, and we couldn't be more proud of them. We're going to recognize them like they deserve, and we're going to actually give them diplomas. They already have enough diplomas because they're very successful, but why not one more? We're going to recognize them in the order that they appeared, and we're going to clap, and we're going to go crazy in the chat. My friends, round of applause for your very own Pau Pinzon.
Oh, Pau!
Pau, there's 12 million people in the chat. Do you have any comments? How are you feeling at this with this diploma now?
I feel like this diploma is going to land into my LinkedIn.
Oh yeah, great idea. I would do that tonight.
Yes, everybody's gonna love it, and you're gonna get a promotion, and everybody's gonna think you do something different again.
It would be like project management through comedy.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Another round of applause for our dear friend at the airport. We don't even know if Sonia Gonzalez, my friends, round of applause, is now flying, or if she's listening to us, or if she's boarding. But that's the commitment that we love. And we send Sonia and Leo a big hug. Round of applause for your very own Courtney Badran from out in Calgary. Courtney, any remarks?
Thank you so much for the last 6 weeks. I've really truly enjoyed it, and it's been a treat to meet all these wonderful women and perform alongside them.
Yes, me too. It's been one of the joys of my week, Wednesday nights, just always being able to be with this group and laugh and heal too,
Therapy together.
It's been therapy with so many beautiful souls. Round of applause for your very own Angela Cadena. Bravo, Angela. We hope that you really cherish this diploma, and we hope it never ends up in the ER. Our dear Angela.
I must say, this diploma comes to my heart with great anticipation of success in the comedy field for me, because I am so delighted that I have been doing this class with all of you and with you, Estefan, teaching us about authenticity, and of course, me backing you up with purpose. I will post this online tonight. Make sure it gets in my inbox because it's coming to the world.
Authenticity and purpose. I love it. Killer combination. Thank you so much, Angela. And thank you to Stephen for staying. And now, big round of applause to Sammy Ramirez. Sammy, any comments?
It's been a pleasure and I enjoyed it very much. But I shared with everybody since the first session that I am learning to occupy space,
Yes.
to own my voice, to be authentic and to be comfortable just showing up like who I am. And that's what I've been doing. And it feels great. It feels awesome. This is really important to me. It means a lot that people laugh, that I can actually be funny, what I thought I wouldn't be, which this is life changing.
Thank you so much, Sammy. Round of applause for Sammy. I always say that sometimes people say like, oh, you have to believe it to do it, and you have to believe and then you do great things. But I'm more of a believer than you do it and then you believe it. And by doing these things and by getting out of your comfort zone and by trusting in your instincts and investing in yourself, you become someone else in the process. And that's what it's all about. Because maybe some people come with an idea of what this is going to be like, and by the end of the 6 weeks, it went a different way, but there was still a lot of growth and happiness and healing and laughter. So we're so happy to have you here. And last but not least, your friendly neighborhood rocket scientists. Big round of applause for Marcela Soto. Bravo, Marce. I'm so happy that you joined us this level 2. I saw you last year in our level 1 through Workman Arts, and so happy to hear that you've been able to take these insights and techniques into the teaching world, and that you're obviously a very successful engineer. But the one that gives me most fulfillment is that you being able to use these things in teaching that you also love. Any remarks?
Yeah, I want to thank you all for bearing with me my 90s look every Wednesday night. Also for the space where I usually don't share a lot with women in my field, and it has been a pleasure to share with all of you. It has been like therapy. And thank you, Stefan, for all the skills. I have been able to apply them right away, not only in teaching, also in my job, and even my boss has noticed a lot of changes.
Yeah. What did
Thank you
they
for
say?
the confidence.
What did your boss say?
My boss, he usually tends to disregard people with accents, and I've been able to put myself in there, and he has actually mentioned that my jokes are funny, which I always thought they were not that much, but yeah.
Well, that's a big win in my books. That's a big win.
And not only that, I'm actually now coordinating more customer meetings, so I really thank you.
Oh wow! Round of applause! Round of applause for Marce.
Round of applause for everyone.
I heard also that your boss is going to give you $100,000 bonus and is going to donate $500,000 to MalPensando. just for that.
That might be my fiance. He's like, oh my God, you keep being occupied and quiet.
Tell your husband, tell your fiance to join this level 1. It's become a bit of a tradition. What's his name? Pauli?
Yeah, Pablo.
Pablo, is Pablo Mexican?
No, he's from Argentina. He won't be able to hear you, but here he is.
Wow, Pauli.
Hello.
Pauli, is Pauli happy about Argentina becoming the world champion?
Are you happy of Argentina becoming the world champion?
Whatever.
Is Pauli also a rocket scientist?
No, MBA.
Oh, MBA.
Oh, what do you mean MBA are rocket scientists, dude?
MBA is still pretty cool. But rocket scientist is cool. A round of applause for Pauli, who looks very confused next to Marce, but is still having a great time. One of the biggest talents of Pauli, even though I don't know him, is that we don't know if he is 18 or 38. I don't know. I
That's
don't
a
know
big
what's
compliment for him.
yeah, it's this guy could get carded at the LCBO any day, or it could also be the vice president of a corporation at the same time. Round of applause to all our graduates today, and big thank you to Soy Yo Mi Amor and Checho and Steven and Connie for staying around. My friends, we've come to the end of this beautiful grad show, and now we're going to take the very famous selfie with everybody. So, Checho, turn on your camera. Steven, turn on your camera. Connie, turn on your camera. We're just gonna do this once, and you're good. You're good, Checho. You're not going to crash. Okay, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Bravo! Thank you so much for sticking around. This was 1 hour and 15 minutes of pure comedy. It means the world to us that you would stick around. There's been a lot of preparation and practice and blood, sweat that has gone into this, so it means the world. Thank you so much, and I'm going to ask the students to stay behind a little bit so that we can deconstruct and just comment on today's performance. We can hug each other virtually, and that's my kind way of saying to Soy Yo Mi Amor, Checho, and Steven and Connie to please leave the room. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here, and the students can stay behind. Big hug.
Gracias, Checho.
Gracias, Checho. Métete al curso, Checho. My friend, how did you feel? That was so good.
We're flying.
You survived.
We did it.
Did it.
Wow.
Yay.
Everybody's performance was so good, and it was the best of all the ones that we'd seen in practice. I wanna congratulate all of you, and briefly just go around and just give you some comments. So Pao, incredible tonality and moving around and vulnerability, especially because your husband was there. Obviously, your husband was there in the classes too, but still performing it and standing up to have more body language was great. The ending was great. The 19-year-old life coach, you pronounced it very well, so it landed amazing. You had the punch of the Pokemon. You also had, like, it was, we were worried, or one of the concerns was that through being vulnerable, would that be at the expense of being funny? And I don't think the funniness suffered by opening up and sharing all of this. So I think it was a massive success, and opening is hard too, because you're the first one. There's a lot of anticipation and nervousness. Sometimes if you're late, if you're second or third, you kind of feed off of what has been happening, but opening is hard. So very good. Congrats to Pao. Bravo.
Thank you very much.
How did you feel, Pao?
I think it was amazing. I first I have to say that I feel very inspired because we were sharing a lot of time, like especially with Sammy and with Kearney, that we had the opportunity to practice a lot, and we help each other to like try to adjust some of the parts of the script, and it was amazing. I must to say that it was very hard because going through all of the writing exercises and everything, I had a couple of very uncomfortable conversations with my husband because as I was telling Sammy and Kearney, this is the first time that I openly speak about my eating disorders. And it was like very touching for him, and it was like, I don't know how to handle this. And the whole thing about the influencer, it's something that really happened to us, and it was very painful for me. And I think that throughout the whole process, it has been very healing for me to put it down, even though the majority of the material hasn't ended, and like in the final
Yeah.
sketch. But just the exercise of writing was very liberated, you know, because he told me like it's very hard to see that sometimes I just think that maybe we're not talking about these kind of things as frequently as we used to, but it's very hard to notice that you're still thinking about these kind of things. And it's like, yeah, I'm just like gaining like the strength to like keep the things down, because I don't want to bother with my feelings, you know. And this has been so like, I feel like I take off my back like I don't know how to say that, but much, I don't know how to say
Wait.
that.
A weight
You
out of
know
your shoulders.
exactly. In English, oh my God, I'm exhausting
Yeah.
of feeling in English.
Your English was
Yes.
perfect.
Yes.
It's like,
It's
let me suffer in Spanish.
Yeah.
Can we
Yeah.
take a moment? Can we please take a moment to recognize how the first session Paula was doubting about her English, and
yeah.
Yeah.
today I don't feel it at all. Like you're just speaking fluently.
100%.
You
Yeah,
were
it
like
was.
super fluent and with a lot of freedom, which is very hard because
Yeah.
at least for us, we speak in English every day, but you speak in Spanish every day. So just to shift your mind, it was amazing.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. And in the sharing, I guess sometimes too, it's not that it's like the elephant in the room, you know, it's not that the problem is gonna go away or the issue or the challenge, but it kind of diffuses it a little bit. And it's not that it disappears, but the more you expose it, the more it heals and disappears.
Yes.
Like it may still be around for days or weeks or years, I don't know, but it's at least come to the surface and it's not lingering around, you know. And sometimes when you can observe it and you can observe yourself also in the third person, like, oh, this is what's happening, you kind of talk with the problem, you acknowledge it, it doesn't have as much power over you anymore. So I'm happy that you were able to put it into words. Sometimes, like when I go into my therapy sessions, I think the most value, it's not that it gets fixed in the 1 hour or whatever, but the most value is to be able to put it into words.
Yeah,
And
completely.
there's some magic through that. So I'm super happy and super proud of you. And you know, sometimes those conversations with your partner, that they might have never happened had you had the courage, had you not
Yeah.
had the courage to bring it up here. So obviously that's a huge win, and maybe you just saved yourself like $2,000 in therapy, just right there.
You're right. And you know that was very lovely from him, that I asked him, do you want me to remove this part of the sketch? And he was like, no, it doesn't matter if you like expose that part. It's the thing is that I feel like it's not about what you're saying, it's about what you're feeling. And it was like kind of cute, because I thought that maybe he could be like, please erase that part, I don't want to be exposed. And he was, it doesn't matter, I don't care, just let me know that you're okay. And it was like,
Yeah.
after this, I'm very good. I feel better.
That's it's so good. I obviously I've met him a couple of times, but I can see like a vibe of like, I don't know, like supportive, and he's not a guy who wants to show that just by him, his vibe, he just gives off a vibe like he's sure of himself and he doesn't need to like scream and like I'm the alpha. He's just like very okay with who he is, which is kind of cool.
I
Now,
felt that your
yeah,
set was comedy with purpose.
yeah,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I really liked it.
me
Yeah.
too. Sonia is not here, but Sonia brought it to the fucking next level at the airport. I wasn't
You
expecting
definitely
that.
did.
She
And
completely did.
she got up and she was talking about sex and and like enunciating stuff and going through the motions, and I was like, wow. And also some vulnerability, a lot of vulnerability to talk about, like thinking about exes and her husband being in the room, which I loved a lot too, which also shows how obviously I don't know anything about her relationship, but it does goes to show that there is a deeper bond there, because if there was going to be a lot of problems or a fight right after, you would never mention them. So, and the guy was super supportive and a good sport, at least what I heard. So let's congratulate Sonia in the chat as well, so that when she lands, she can read this. Courtney, you also brought the money. You brought the energy, and you had the pronunciation, the vocal variety. I love that you were listening for laughs, and that allowed you to not stop the laughs. Like you wouldn't start unless the laugh were starting to die down a little bit, which actually helped in your pacing, and you looked like you were enjoying it too. So it actually allowed us to enjoy it too. I came up with a joke as you were doing it. If you ever want to do it, it's a very good joke. I don't know if it's gonna land right now, but it's a really good joke. Obviously, you're gonna get the credit because you wrote this whole thing. I'm just like putting it there. But there, you said we've done everything we need to do. We've done everything people do before having a baby. And can you just say what you said, that line?
So we've done everything you're supposed to do. We've done everything you're supposed to do before having kids. We've gone to school, gotten good jobs. We've bought a house. We've traveled the world. We've bought a boat.
Okay, yeah. I think I don't know. Maybe this is me being ridiculous right now, but I think of the third element. If you had a rule of three, you could have like two very believable ones. We traveled, we bought a house, and then the third one could be like, so we've done everything people do before having a baby.
Yeah.
We traveled, we bought a house, we've aborted.
Oh no. Okay, that's good. Yeah.
Like the irony of it, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's really good. Yeah. That wouldn't have gone over good tonight with my mom in the audience, but at a comedy club, I'm telling you, that would fucking kill at a comedy club. Because of the irony of it, you know? Yes,
the irony of it.
I love it.
Then you just had some really good punches. It was also vulnerable too, in that there's a lot of pain behind actually not separating, but like your husband moving out or like 6,000 kilometers away, and having to buy a roommate and to a new city. And like, I know you alluded to it in class, for like, or you saying that you sometimes get pissed off and you give your husband an earful, you know, like, and you let it out on your husband. So we know that everything you shared today, it's actually a big win that we're able to laugh about it with such great material, because I know it sounds like it hasn't been easy. So kudos to you too.
Yeah.
How did you feel?
So let me be vulnerable now again. I was disappointed with my set because I wasn't able to prepare or refine it or rehearse it as much as I would have liked. The last 6 weeks I started a new job, and I've struggled throughout the whole 6 weeks with my job. And then I was laid off on Monday. And so I did not want to perform tonight. I did not feel like being funny. I didn't want to make jokes. But the thing is it's because of you, Stefan, and because of you ladies that I wanted to show up. Because we can't kind of discard everything we've done, even though there are difficult times that we go through. And this is actually what builds resilience, is that by having this balance, by being able to come on Wednesday night after a hard day of work and alone and work with you guys on something that really means a lot to me as a person, and really fulfilled a lot of these things that I want to be this person, even if I can't always show up that way. And it was really you, Stefan, like when you told me in one of our classes, like, Courtney, if you have a special one day, like that should be the title of your special. Like the fact that you believe that that's a possibility gives me so much pride in myself and like in what I'm doing, and that doing things that you love and bring you joy, this is what makes life meaningful. And like the struggles that we have, like in our relationships or our work, that's another side of life that we have to, but we need to balance it out. And that's what this group was. And so I had to show up tonight and do it, even though it wasn't, you know, the way that maybe I would have hoped it would be, because it was real and it was where I'm at. And I know that if I was to continue, that this is just one show, Stefan. This is not the only show. This isn't the perfect. This is just me coming in, workshopping some material, and becoming a better performer and a better comedian at meeting myself where I'm at today, and not putting that pressure on myself that I'm not going to do it unless it's perfect. No, that's not going to be the reality. And I think that the best thing to do is just show up, do your best, and be and celebrate. Like you said, that this is a celebration of not just today or what's happening today, but the whole 6 weeks that we spent together. And how do we celebrate that? We show up and we do our best and we enjoy the moment, because this is what we work towards. And this is what we do it for.
Absolutely. I want to acknowledge you for that. That is fucking huge. And just obviously, sorry to hear about the layoff, but again, in the hardships, I mean, not again the layoff, but in the hardships of the situation, that's where the real warrior. It's so easy to be like happy and perform when everything's going well, you know.
That's right.
But it's in the iterations. It's in the I mean, if this is a goal of yours, there's really no magic. It's in the iterations. It's in the showing up, which you just did today. I used to fucking suck, but I kept doing it. I mean, luckily, it's something that I enjoy. But you know how much it sucks to suck at something you enjoy and that you love? It sucks even double. Because like if I suck at skateboarding, but I don't care about skateboarding, it doesn't matter, you know. Because but if it's like about something you care, it sucks. Especially when like people come and see you and they're like, it's cool that you're doing something you like, and but because you know that means that you suck. And I got that a lot in my first 2 years. So kudos to you for keep showing up, and it's not even in the I know you all know, but it's not even in the in the talent or the skills. Nobody thinks I'm funny in my family. Nobody told me I was funny growing up, but it's in the belief. It's like my work ethic is stronger than your doubt or your belief or whatever you want to say. So I want to acknowledge you, and this was great. I had no idea that you weren't satisfied with it, because it's a strong set.
No, and that's okay. That's what we're always kind of balancing, is that our expectations versus reality, or what we're aiming for. And it's okay to set the bar higher and work towards it, but you can't let your expectations stop you from showing up on the starting line. Absolutely. No, you got to show up. And don't worry about the job. I knew this was coming and I anticipated it. And I've been working with Izzy for already 4 weeks.
Oh yeah.
So Izzy was the first one I called. Like while I was in the meeting with HR, I texted Izzy, hey, they're laying me off. And he's like, can I call you? And Izzy has shown up for me.
Yeah.
For the last 4 weeks. So I am grateful also for you for introducing me to Izzy, and he has reassured me that this is just an ending, but also a beginning of something even better.
Absolutely. This is going to be, I'm so happy that you're working with Izzy and because these moments are just so short, you know, and then you can't rely on motivation or feeling good to show up in life, because then life goes like that and then nothing happens. You can't, like, if I was to run a marathon and today I feel great because I just bought some shoes, but tomorrow I'm not motivated, then the marathon is not happening. It's in the iterations. It's in the showing up every day. So kudos to you. Another round of applause for Courtney and Pao and Sonia. Angela, Angela, you were spectacular today. I
love that.
I know that I said I was going to take a look at your set earlier, and the festival was just it's like going into a car crash. It's like 4 days of, and then you suddenly wake up and you're like, oh my God, I'm back in Toronto. It's like very intense comedy every night, activities with the comics, partying, preparing, stress. And I ended up sending it to you on Monday or Tuesday, I think. And then we got together yesterday. And you've just been a champ, patient, practiced a lot, got into the character. You also had your husband in the room, and you still committed. You were still committed. You still talked about it, and I love the dancing part. I love the embodying. You showed me. You showed it. You didn't just tell it. You showed it. And then the ER was one of the inside jokes of the show as well, and your husband was smiling and laughing. So I'm happy that it went very well. How did you feel?
I felt pretty good. I felt a little intimidated at the beginning because I tremble. So I was like, I'm not really looking like I'm smoking. I'm looking like I'm having a heart attack. But
I didn't think that. I thought it was great. Everybody laughed super hard at the Oracle.
Okay, I want to say the most important two things I want to say. Number one, showing up. I want to start a group that I already have in Oregon with young women. They are all women that are struggling with their emotions in different ways. And I started this group. They come to my house, etc. But I want to start this group tonight on a virtual group called Showing Up Level 2. And that showing up includes all of you women, and Stefan, if he wants to be part of this. I know he's very busy, but I want to invite you to participate because I think we have something magic in this group. I strongly believe it. I'm not making it up. Yesterday, my boss, who is younger than me, very, very smart, told me, no way, you're not going to get promoted. He told me very clearly that he doesn't see, he has told me many reviews that I'm awesome, that I'm great. And yesterday, he pretty much implied, no, you're not that special. And it was because I was asking for a promotion that I deserve. So guess what? I have to look for choices for me. Izzy is helping me. The guys everywhere. And you are there too. And I'm like, okay, I need my group of showing up girls, these girls, to support each other because we cannot only rely on Izzy. We gotta rely on each other too to help each other. So if you guys are interested, I'm gonna send an invite and I'm gonna make you part of this group. And if you say no, then I won't be harassing you. I will send you an email every week until you say yes. Now, purpose. Remember that I told you I have a new name tag in I made it by hand. It's not fancy. I just got a piece of paper and folded looking like a name tag. And I told you, what did I tell you that it said?
Be who you want to be.
That's what I want from all of us. We have no excuse. We're going to be who we want to be. We're going to do exactly who we want to be every single moment that we remember. And we can't remember, well, I just thought about a bad word. We just fart or whatever, because that's human. We can't be perfect, but it's good to have an aspiration. It's good to believe in ourselves and support each other. We're women. We're wonderful women. We're beautiful women. And Estefan is an example of a man that makes women more wonderful. And I love you, Estefan. And I told you this since the beginning when we started this class. Now I'm even more in love with you. And that is a problem because I'm married and you're married. I'm an older and you're younger. That's it. No more.
Oh,
and I'm
Thank you
posting
so
online.
much.
I'm posting online. I have some work to do, but I post online something about all what we've been discussing. I'm going to summarize it, and I'm going to have the certificate, and I'm going to have all of your names in there, and you guys are going to say, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Angela. And thank you for your kindness in switching positions with Sonia. Sammy, you transformed into the person that you deserve to be whenever you want to be. And I like to believe I at the beginning of my career, I felt kind of ashamed or like weird showing a different part of me on stage because I would be scared that if my friends or my family would be on stage or people who knew me from years ago, they'd be like, what are you doing? That's not you. You don't talk like that in real life. But then somebody told me this where it's like you are a pie. You're like a cake. And there's like a 1% slice, like a very thin slice that comes out and play on stage. And that doesn't mean that it's not you. It's you, but it's amplified on stage because that's who you want to be on stage. So it's not disingenuous and it's not fake. It's just who you are, and it's you. It's just it doesn't come out and play like you're not going to be that person in a business meeting with like a client, and you're also not going to be like you're with a business client on stage because it would be weird. But we could just tell that you were like levitating of authenticity. And I don't know you in person, and I don't know how you act on a day-to-day basis or how you are. Clearly, I've known you for these weeks, and we can see how you talk and how you are. But it was like another level of happiness and taking space and owning it and being yourself. And it just gives me enormous satisfaction to see you not only just try but also flourish and kill it with that. So to me, the material was great, but the delivery is what makes a performance
100%.
special. And you delivered it like a champ, so I'm super proud of you. How did you feel?
Well, I truly want to express how this means, like what this means. It's a lot. It is like it moves my heart. It is like it's important. Like having your feedback and everyone's support. Like truly, it makes me feel confident. It makes me want to do more of that. Not necessarily comedy, but show up like myself in public, right? Um, I especially want to like shout out to Kearney and Paola. We practiced, the three of us, yesterday and today.
Mm-hmm.
But when Kearney was talking, I wanted to give a shout out because you have this thing that you will always type something good for the person that was
Mm-hmm.
presenting,
Yes.
something that you always do, and it means a lot.
Yeah,
It's
it means a lot.
encouraging. My mood, it goes up when I read your comments. Since the beginning, you've always done it, and it makes a difference. And I really wanted to say thank you for doing that.
Yeah, it makes a difference.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's been great. Thank you.
We're so happy for you because in the context of what you shared in class number 1 and taking space, this is only the beginning. Like you said, it's not about comedy or poetry or music or graphic design. It's not that's just the medium, but these are transferable confidence skills. You know what I mean? Because you're like, if I did this, why would I be nervous in front of these people at work? I already did something that's harder.
Yeah.
Communicating is hard. Communicating and making people laugh is hard. It's harder. And communicating and making people laugh while being vulnerable is even harder. So that is like a muscle in the soul that is developed.
Yeah.
That you can take anywhere. And the cool thing about this is nobody can take it away. Nobody can say anything because you did it and nobody can take it away. Even if people talk, you're like, yeah, okay, do something like this and then come talk to me. So I'm so happy that you're in this performance. It speaks it showed volumes of confidence, of belief, and of authenticity, and of wanting to try other things that maybe you wouldn't have tried 5 years ago. So it's who you become in the process.
Definitely. I feel I have changed a lot. Yes. definitely.
We're so happy about that. And last but not least, the great Marcela Soto, the Pau. Yeah, you need to go. No
Bye,
worries, no
Pau.
worries. Bye,
Bye,
Pau. We
gracias,
love you.
Pau.
We'll talk in the chat.
Oh,
We'll talk. I'm gonna send the diplomas and the pictures. We'll talk in the chat. So Marce, you improved it significantly from last session as well, and you ended up with a great ending. I was surprised with that ending, where
Thank
you
you for the help,
connected.
girls.
Yes.
Yeah, you connected it. That was impressive, and it was clean. You pronounced, and you were you were very authentic with your delivery. It sounded like this is who you are. You weren't trying to be projecting harder or talking like somebody else. No, it was just you being you. And sometimes in class, like, obviously because of how we are and personality wise, other people share more than others. And to see you just like 100% be yourself, and you had a big text at the beginning, and you were able to distill that into something that was great, that still showed vulnerability, that still showed who you are, and that made people laugh. So I'm very proud of you, and super happy that you also decided to join this last second, because I messaged you like 2 days before it started.
Yeah.
And you jumped on board. How did you feel?
Um, I honestly thank you way too much. Let me tell you, my thesis, my master thesis, it was something that I only knew. Like, I developed the theory, I developed the algorithms, I knew from A to Z. I knew everything. When I was presenting my thesis, I couldn't stop laughing because I laugh when I get nervous. So from a 30 minutes presentation, it turned to be a 3 hours presentation because I couldn't stop laughing. So you might get a sense of how afraid I am to speak in public. And that was a topic that I only, like, there was no better person to explain than me.
Wow.
So for me, the first time around, when, like, you know
When
how
was that thesis? What year was that?
2013.
Okay.
So you know how I ended up going to level 1?
How?
I had always had in mind, like, I wish I could be as outspoken as with, I don't know, as with my friends, but in public with people that I don't know. So I've been like, I would really like to be a public speaker. I would really like to be a public speaker. I would really like to be a public speaker. But it was only on, like, the words, I would really like to be a public speaker. And I was on Instagram. And I think that my phone caught on it. And the first thing I read, I was like, public speaking course. I'm like, oh, perfect. Click on here. I'm like, everyone tells you, don't click on links that you don't know. Click,
Yeah.
like, I right away, like, click on here. Give your personal information, your phone number. Have you been linking? I'm like, yes, 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 yes. So I just kept, like, adding on my information. And I'm like, there was a question there that says, you have to be from North York. So my answer to that question was like, well, I live in North York, Young and Shepherd, for 3 months in 2009. Does it count? And then I got the call from you. I'm like, perfect. So in my head, like, I always had, like, I don't have time because my job is very demanding. It's an hour and a half away. Like, I'm never able to come with energy to do anything. So I'm like, I always say that I want to be a public speaker. I need to act upon it.
Yeah.
So it gave me the confidence the first time around, even though I didn't have the chance to present. It
Yeah,
gave me,
'cause
like, I don't know, like, you make me get out of my comfort zone because my company is very peculiar. It's mainly guys, and they are, like, very white. So most of the time, more often than not, I hear, I'm sorry, I don't understand. Can you repeat it? Oh my God. It's like, I don't know if it's because I'm a girl or because I have an accent or whatever, but I've been always very subconscious about it. So it was very difficult. And teaching was also, like, a little bit easier because the students look at me like if I know all. So
Yeah.
it was like not, I could make mistakes. They wouldn't even notice. I could just go around perhaps. So for me today was being in front of people that I think that are subject matter experts on making people laugh, because I laugh all the time being with you, and being a little bit vulnerable. Like, I know that I'm not that funny, but I don't like, it's not like I'm the expert on making people laugh, but I did try to like get up to the challenge.
Yeah, you stepped up to the challenge 100%.
So I don't know. I really thank you, because I do see myself improving, and it's not only me, my boss noticed it. Like,
Wow.
I always try to implement the techniques that you mentioned in meetings, and he's like, you should see his face when I say any comments. He's like, oh my God. Like, he rolls his eyes all the time, or he just disregards what I say, or things like that. And a lot of people's like, what's wrong with him? Like, I don't know. So I started like calling him by his like tips that you gave us on class. Like, well, if he's interrupting, like when you're talking, call him by him. Do you have another opinion? Could you share it with us? So it has been amazing, and like he actually noticed it.
Yeah.
That he made me in charge of. I usually handle all Latin America because I speak Spanish.
Yeah.
And he gave me one of the biggest accounts in
Wow.
US. So I'm like, I kind of like it,
Wow.
but I don't know. It has been a lot to like being vulnerable, not only here, but also at work, because I'm like, I got to the point that I said, like, I'm not going to try anything. I know that I'm never going to get through this guy. And I thought like, okay, well, I may as well try it at least once. And that one time that I tried it, it worked. And I'm like, okay, I'm eager to try it again and again and again, and it has worked. And I think that you're helping me to regain my voice, because I know that I'm
Thank you.
confident.
Yeah.
I know that I know the things. I just don't have the confidence enough to do it. But thank you.
No, that means a lot. Thank you so much, Marcy.
And thank you to all, because it, like, honestly, for me, it's all day, every day with guys only. It was a change, a very good change. And I think that I might be in the wrong company.
Well, talk to Izzy. Talk
I
to
will
Izzy,
do.
and you know, as I heard you talk, I was thinking about in my field. I'm teaching at the University of Toronto now. This course called Business Presentations and Public Speaking, and I got my first review because it's like 12 sessions. And while I was in Costa Rica, I'm teaching 2 classes: Mondays in person, 11 people, and Tuesdays online, 11 people. And I got my first. I didn't understand how to read it very well, but I didn't get it. The program director got it, of the in-person one, and it is out of 5, and everything said 5. And he wrote me an email like, "Oh, Stefan, he said, like, this is excellent. How are you feeling?" And I thought that, like, I was like, wow, all 5s, I'm fucking killing it. And and I was like, because the in-person one is great. I'm having like fucking great thing. And then the online came, and I had like 2, but I realized that the first one was 1 person. I thought it was like the average, but it was the in person. But the online that came in, and it had like 2 really good ones and 1 that wasn't that good. I mean, it wasn't that bad, but there had like some 3s in there, and it fucked me up. I'm like, because I've been like very out of my comfort zone, because this is a curriculum that I didn't design, and that it's like 80 slides per class. Then there's like discussion boards and videos, and then the expectation is that online we're not going through the slides. We're all just doing exercises, but nobody's telling me anything. It's just, here you go, run with it. And I know I'm very good at teaching, but you only just require like one thing to fuck you up. So and then there's this like one guy and like a couple people, and I'm like, so then it gets you thinking, who gave me the 3? But then I'm like, it's actually good that I got the 3 in these sections, because now I can see where I need to work more, what I need to work on more. But because these are concepts that I haven't taught ever, this is the first time that I'm teaching them. Then I'm thinking, and they know this is my first time teaching, because I told them I'm not gonna fake that I've been teaching this for 8 years. And so then I'm like, fuck, am I teaching this okay? Are they actually learning? Do they feel like I'm wasting their time? Do they feel like they're paying and they're not getting their money's worth? Maybe it's their fault because they're not actually reviewing the slides and the videos before class. And then I'm like, maybe Yuang, the guy who recommended me, who's a great teacher, and maybe he teaches it like a million times better. So it fucks me up. So then like I want to teach the in-person one, but not the online one as much anymore. But in this pain,
Process?
obviously, because in this process, there's also growth, and yeah, it sounds very cliche, but there is, because now after the first impression where you're like, fuck, this sucked. It doesn't even suck, because it was like 3s and 4s and 5s. But because I got the 5s at the beginning, I thought everything was gonna be a 5. So the 3 gets after the first impression, we're like, then you're like, okay, what can we do about it? And all you need is just one positive comment, which is like the Courtneys of the world, they give you the messages, and it gets you going, and then the last lesson is, you can't take it personally. And what I mean by that is, sometimes I think it's this fucking John Conley, who of the class, because he just has this vibe that he knows everything. He's a great guy, but I'm taking it personal. I call him Professor John because he has great comments, and like, but he has deep voice and like does consulting and procurement or whatever. And I'm like, I feel that he's the guy that doesn't like me, but I'm just basing this off of nothing, just like his voice or whatever. And maybe the person who seems like is enjoying it a lot just gave me a 3, and you just never know. And it's never personal. So
No, it depends on their mood and the
going.
day that they're filling out the form. They're like, fuck this guy. But it might not, it's just based on how they're feeling. So like, you can't even take it. It's not like truth. It's not the truth of like your performance. It's just one perspective, possible perspective.
I like that perspective, Courtney, because first of all, Stefan, you had so many students telling you you're great. That's not the problem. So you had to it's a different class, you're new at it, you're learning.
Yeah.
And it's Marcela, I don't know how old are you, but you are very impressive, not only because all the stuff you're doing, but because how much you want to continue. And Sammy, I fell in love with you tonight in a different way. I like you very much, but it was so fun to hear you talking like that. It was like, oh my God, she's kick ass. And I want to be like her. I want to be like her. And Kearney, I didn't know what happened tonight, yesterday at the office or whatever the day was, but I want to talk to you in person, on the phone, whatever. I really do, because I really think we're wonderful. We're absolutely wonderful. And let's keep that momentum that we have now. It's not something we want to put on the closet and explore in the next 6 months. I think Marcela, Kearney, and I can start a company and we all become super millionaires. And everybody will be having a good time. We had the public speaking by Stefan. I have dreams, okay?
You do.
And to keep it going, again, I wish that you all take level 3 in the future whenever we decide to I mean, we know when we're going to offer it because the schedule is out. But what I mean by that is, it's not what the growth is. It's not that it's public speaking. It's not that it's comedy. It's in the challenging yourself of something that you know you want to do, but you haven't, or you know you need to do, but you haven't, or you know that the real you needs it. And so whether that may be salsa classes, or whether that may be having an uncomfortable conversation with a loved one, or whether that may be hiring a business coach because you want a career change, or whether that may be, I don't know, just calling your mom that you haven't called in a while. Like, it's in the doing. And I know, like, I'm not necessarily like, I don't do this all the time, so I need to remind myself to constantly. But when it comes, like when these nights happen, like the other day in Costa Rica for me, like it doesn't always happen, you know. You don't always get your way, but when you do, you're like, fuck,
Yes.
it was worth
No,
it, you know.
and that's so important, Stefan. Because how many shitty sets did you do before you had that rock star night in Costa Rica?
Hundreds.
The good times can't come without going through the bad times. That's I think
Yeah,
that's
you
what
otherwise you just peak too early, and then you stop doing it. How many like 50-year-old drunk guys do you have at bars talking about how good they were in high school as quarterbacks?
Yeah.
Like they just peak too early, you know. So I really acknowledge all of you for investing in yourselves. And you may not be able to sleep today because when you're so alive in the soul, you sometimes I've gone to bed. I remember the night that my life changed was August 20, 2016, when it was my first time after 2 years of stand-up that I killed it at a show in London, Ontario. Juan and I went to perform with another guy, and it was the first day ever that I killed ever. And I just went like this because I couldn't sleep. And that night, after like a bunch of times Juan saying like we should quit our jobs, I was like, let's fucking quit our jobs. And it was like, and it was a life changer. So, but what if it had happened the first night? You know, like it'd be like, this is too easy. So, it's the journey. It's picking what you want to do. And maybe this is just the trampoline for wherever you want to go. And that is amazing because you earned it and nobody can take this away from you. So go and enjoy, have a drink, don't have a drink, go watch Netflix, eat whatever you want, or just go to bed and just enjoy this moment. Because sometimes you don't enjoy them, you know? You're just like, yeah, it was cool, and then you go to bed and then you forget. But like you have to, because you don't have these nights every day, you know? And we didn't win the World Cup, we didn't become millionaires, but you did something that money can't buy. So that's like that. Nobody can take it away from you. So go enjoy it, and I'm super proud of you.
Thank you, Stefan.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you in level 3.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
I love
Big
you,
hug.
girls.
Love
I
you
love
too.
you, Stefan. Good night.
Take care.
Thank
We
you.
love
Thank
you.
you so much for everything.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Have a great night. I'll put the
Ciao.
diplomas and the pictures in the chat.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Bye.